This is Hannah Jackson, your Roadmap reporter here. Now, if I were to ask you which of the five senses we use to experience flavour, you'd probably say taste. That bitter tang of coffee or rush of sugar from ice cream is something we most readily associate with our taste buds. But new research suggests that our perception of flavour is actually heavily influenced by our other senses, that what we see, hear, smell and touch can dramatically alter the way we experience our food. To find out more, I've come to Wharton Kitchen Garden in Oxfordshire to meet the experimental psychologist behind this new field of research, Professor Charles Spence. Wow. Look at this place.
And smell it as well.
Yeah, I mean, it looks beautiful. And it leads very nicely onto my first question. When you think about flavour, obviously taste does spring to mind, but what about all of the other senses?
So I think all the senses are actually involved in tasting. Well, the first thing we do is we sort of see food, and all the range of colours here all mean something to us. Yeah. And that sets our expectations about what we're about to taste, what we'd like the look of. It really is one of the most multisensory things we do when we experience the taste or flavour of food. And the sight, the sound, the smell, the touch, the texture, the mood, your emotions, nostalgia, that all comes together first in your mind, not in your mouth. And it's one of the best tricks that our brains play on all of us to tell us we can taste it in our mouth when it's really happening in our head. Wow. And hence a ripe subject for the psychologist to study. Well, Charles, this is absolutely fascinating, but I really think I need to experience it for myself. So okay. Do you have any experiments that we can do? Please follow me.
Great. So let's get down to the specifics then. What are the things that can affect taste the most?
So I think very important is kind of the cutlery and the plateware. So we've done the research to show that changing the colour of the plate or of the cup or of the bowl can change what we say about the taste of food, kind of accentuate certain notes or suppress other ones. So we find that black angular plates, or a slate say, which is quite popular and trendy in some restaurants, that tends to reduce the sweetness of foods. And for those who are trying to stop nibbling so much, then serving things on a red plate can also lead to kind of avoidance, motivation. We're just less likely to eat things, especially if they're unhealthy, from a red plate.
So what other things make food highly desirable then?
Beyond what it looks like, I think what it smells like is really important as well. So here we have a delicious looking peach, and probably if you smell it, we might be able to imagine the fruity, peachy aroma, and that's part of the experience, part of what makes things delicious.
Wow, that is making me very hungry. Okay, so we've spoken about smell, but what about sound? How important is that?
So I think of sound as the forgotten flavour sense, the one that we never think about. We always think about taste and maybe smell and colour, but no one thinks about sound. And yet when you think about the foods you like to snack on, so many of those make a noise. They're crunchy, they're crispy, they're crackly. Like, for example, a potato chip we've got here. Maybe you just want to try one. Just think about how important is the sound to that.
Yeah, well, it's definitely crunchy and crispy, but how does the sound relate to the taste?
Food makes a noise as you're eating it. You're kind of paying attention to what's going on in there, and by paying attention, by thinking about the flavour, that's also helping to enhance the sensation.
Well, Charles, just for extra research, I think I should probably just have another crisp. Next, Charles sets me up with his sonic seasoning experiment, which I'm delighted to discover involves eating chocolate.
And I would like you to select track number 1 on the on there.
Yeah,
listen
got
to
it.
that. Oh, nice. And now take a bite of the chocolate from the left plate and think about how bitter or sweet it tastes.
With pleasure. Okay. Yeah, okay, well, it was delicious. And yeah, pretty sweet, kind of silky. I guess on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably say it was about a 7.
7, okay. So hold that thought.
Okay.
And now I'm going to get you to select the other track, track number 2 on there, and take a bite of chocolate from this plate instead.
Okay, yeah, so that was definitely more bitter. I guess on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd maybe say 4 or 5.
So now, in fact, these are both the same chocolate from the same pack. All that differed was the sound, the sonic seasoning that you heard. Sweeter in the first case, and then a lower pitched, more dissonant, unpleasant track second that brought out the bitterness in the chocolate.
Okay, that's amazing. Wow! That's exactly what happened. That was more bitter.
Once you realise how powerful sonic seasoning can be, then it really does open the door to the idea that we could actually carefully curate the music we listen to at meal times, and then hopefully put on some sweet tracks. By so doing, allow us to add a little bit less sugar to our food, but keep the percept the same.
Wow, incredible. This has been absolutely mind-blowing. And I mean, thank you so much, Charles, for showing me how our senses can influence the way we experience food and flavours.
It's a pleasure.
Well, what a day. It's been fascinating to learn what a multi-sensory experience eating really is, that the pleasures of taste are enjoyed just as much in the mind as they are on the tongue. And I, for one, will definitely be paying more attention to the way my food is served next time I go out to eat. Anyway, this is Hannah Jackson, your Roadmap reporter, signing off.